Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is August 1st, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. We still have our vortex going on across portions of southern Alaska, Gulf of Alaska, and we still have some of this mid-level moisture. A lot of lightning activity here over the last few days. We've got some new fire starts out there, some ongoing fires as well. We'll take a look at the drought monitor. We'll take a look at what's coming as we go through the upcoming week here and our extended forecast as always as we go through the video here this morning. So pausing this, let's go ahead and take a look at what happened yesterday. And you can see that lightning activity across eastern Washington, and that continued on through the daytime. Look at the thunderstorms just develop across some of the southern Oregon Cascades all the way across southwest Oregon, Idaho Panhandle, western Montana, British Columbia. Really, every place got it except for Western Washington, Western Oregon, Southwest BC. And we continue to play that on, and you can see some of the thunderstorms ongoing here started to kick outflow boundaries off across portions of Eastern Oregon. You can kind of see it right there as I toggle back and forth. You see this cumulus congestus get going, and then you develop all that thunderstorm activity. A lot of lightning associated with it yesterday, and we do have some new fire starts ongoing. You can see that the lightning, sorry, kept going after the sunset, and we continue on through this morning, and we still have a thunderstorm there across northeast Washington, but we're going to redevelop some of this thunderstorm activity again here today. We got some flash flood watches up right now as well for some heavy rain over some burn scar areas. So taking a look here at the comparison slide on the U.S. drought monitor, we're going to go through 2 weeks ago, which is what I'm showing you right now. You can see we had some extreme drought, we had some severe drought across portions of Washington down into northwest Oregon, northeast Oregon as well, and the bright yellow here is abnormally dry. So if we scroll through here, you're going to see that we developed a bit of exceptional drought across the Idaho Panhandle, and watch how we've got some now extreme drought across northern portions of the Cascades, including the east slopes of the Cascades, places like Wenatchee, Lake Chelan. You are very close to those areas, and we now introduce some moderate drought across portions of northwest Washington. We have expanded some of that severe drought as well across some of the Willamette Valley. So not a good look there. We've increased drought across much of the Pacific Northwest. Still some abnormally dry, but there's also drought supposed to develop with this area as we go on into the next couple of months. So lightning over the last 24 hours makes sense with what we just saw in the visible satellite imagery over the last 24 hours. Isolated dry thunderstorm potential is mainly across southern Oregon and portions of Idaho today. And for tomorrow, similar areas. Now, this is the fire map ongoing. If you look really closely, you see these green splotches right there. These are new fires that have recently kicked up with lightning activity. Some of these may be still human caused, but for the most part, I think these were lightning caused. And of course, we got the Bear Gulch fire out there as well, producing quite a bit of smoke across portions of western Washington. We'll take a look at that starting right now. This is the vertically integrated smoke, so kind of through the entire column. That is our atmosphere, and we put that into motion today. Some of that smoke will be drifting around out there. It hit and miss right across. Some of that smoke may be getting in towards the Seattle area today. Not too bad, but as we go through tomorrow, you can kind of see as we go through for tomorrow, we might be dealing with some more smoke out there drifting up across, Whidbey Island and up across Port Townsend, Kitsap Peninsula, as that Bear Gulch fire continues to burn mainly out of control and not much containment going on with that fire. I think it's like it was below 5% last time I checked. So we're going to take a look here at the European model, North American view. I'm circling Washington and Oregon. You can see there is Alaska. There is our vortex that's been with us for a few days now. We scroll on in through the weekend. You can see we're under the influence of this troughing off the west coast of Canada, down the west coast of North America. That is going to be with us as we go through the mid portion of the week coming up here. Then we've got some changes coming. You can kind of see at the very end of the run, you see the ridge start to develop out here. One more trough to go as we go through Wednesday, Thursday, and then we're going to start to build the ridging here and maybe start to warm up a bit across portions of the Pacific Northwest. More on that here in a moment, but I did want to drive home the point again today. This is Medford National Weather Services for today, and then Saturdays here on the right, we start to reduce the thunderstorm potential a little bit as we go through tomorrow, and flash flood watches are in effect. You can see this does include places like Chelan, Winthrop, Omak, Republic, Colville, Cooley Dam right on the outside of that. But yeah, some heavy rain in some of the burn scar areas out here is possible. Now, high resolution rapid refresh lightning flash density today. The HER has been struggling a bit, but for some eastern portions have been doing all right. But as we go through the day today, you can kind of see the thunderstorms blossom across northern Washington. That's why we have the flood watches out there, and again, heavy rain, some local thunderstorm activity out there. And then we go on into the nighttime and into tomorrow morning. You see, we do relax some of that across Washington State, but again, another round of thunderstorms for eastern Oregon as we go through Saturday afternoon. Now, composite reflectivity, and again, you can kind of see these showers popping off Lake Chelan northbound across Omak into British Columbia. Those could be producing some heavy rain, as well as southeast Washington, maybe northeast Oregon. Now, if we take a look at the extended forecast a bit here, is a European artificial intelligence on the left versus the good old GFS here on the right, the global forecast system, the USA model. Put this into motion. We're going to be dealing again with the influence of this trough as we go through this weekend into the early portion of next week. And through the mid portion of next week, you can kind of see both models have some semblance of a trough there, a little bit deeper here on their artificial intelligence with a little bit stronger, more amplified ridge up into the Gulf of Alaska as we go through Wednesday night. Then we scroll off into the extended a little bit more, and you can see how it wants to flatten things out a bit. Still a fairly strong ridge right off the Oregon-California border there. And again, it depends on just how much this is amplified. This can be very close to bringing some warmth across the region, maybe even a little bit of a heat wave if you believe what the GFS is trying to sell us here. As we go through the following weekend, this ridge really starts to get amplified. And then we go off in towards the weekend. You can kind of see still some ridging on both models, maybe weak trough here. We start to get some disagreement on what is to come through the extended. That's pretty typical. You can see the ridge way out on the Pacific Ocean on the artificial intelligence versus inland here across the desert Southwest and some of the Intermountain West on the GFS. But you can see they still continue to throw some ridging at us as we go through the first half of August. So we still may yet get our warm up here across the region. Now, if we take a look at the artificial intelligence versus the GFS ensemble, this is both ensemble member runs from each of these models. And if we scroll off into the future, again, you can kind of see how even the ensembles are showing some of that ridging as we go on in towards this upcoming week, the end of the week and towards next week. And again, we'll be watching that closely to see how much we might warm up. Now, national blend of models, let me update this, make sure this is up to date. Here we are, Friday, August 1st, Seattle 82, Portland, mid 80s. Medford 94, some upper 80s for the Willamette Valley. You see the 90s out there as well, 90 towards Boise, maybe some low 80s across southwest BC away from the water. And some of Vancouver Island even warming up. Look at the interior Vancouver Island showing 86. We go through Saturday, a little bit of a cool down for Seattle, 80 degrees, still comfortable out there. Then we go Sunday, a bit more of a cool down, 75 showing up for Seattle. Last day of Seafair, Willamette Valley, mid upper 70s. And we go through Monday, we're going to be dealing with the influence of this trough again, like I mentioned. Wednesday still 76 for Seattle. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we start to warm things up a little bit here, depending on again how that ridge develops off our coastline. Now, taking a look at the European eye, this is yesterday afternoon, so you can kind of see that warm up there as we go through the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Again, you take that with a grain of salt because it's way out there in the forecast. But again, the models have been hinting at this potential warm up. And the GFS, last night's run, you can kind of see that warm up there once we go towards the 10th, 11th, 12th, and thereafter. Now, just a reminder out here, when you're out, I mean, you might think the Seattle sun is not that strong, but it really is, especially in the very early morning, late morning and early afternoon hours. You can still see we're punching up into the high or very high range for the UV index. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. If you're out and about at the lake all day or out there seafaring, whatever you're doing, hiking, the sun is very strong this time of year, even in Seattle and the Pacific Northwest. So here's the 6 to 10 day. We got a nice mixed bag here showing up. Not sure what's going to happen just yet. This is August 6th through 10th, and I would kind of throw that in the trash right now. I mean, above average, this can be skewed very easily. We don't get a lot of precipitation at this time of year across the region. And again, you can send me images on the Patreon page. Look, somebody sent me this one with a good question about what is that? Is it a lenticular cloud on top of the towering cumulus there, that's what's known as a pileus cloud. So the cumulus cloud grows enough where it starts to get a bit of condensation there. Looks like a bit of a pancake on top of that, known as pileus cloud. I don't think that that was coming from the Bear Gulch fire. That didn't look like it there, the pyrocumulus from it, but I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't look like a pyrocumulus cloud. Just kind of looks like a general good old-fashioned towering cumulus. But yeah, what else? I'll be up there at Sea Fair today. If you see me out there at Seward Park, come say hello. I'll be out there at the tip of the island shooting some Blue Angel stuff and trying to get some video. My favorite part of Seafair is when they do the very high speed low pass right over Lake Washington, known as a sneak pass, and they leave a nice vapor cone behind, and they're going just under the speed of sound. Pretty fun stuff. So anyway, look forward to that. Otherwise, yeah, we'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.